And good morning there, YouTube. Still morning here for me over here. This is Stampede Valkyrie. I'm actually finishing up the final touches on this auction find that I found, this twin model Aerodynic or Aerotwin Sonic Model 24 XM mid-length X series bar. As you can see here, compared to the first video, things have cleaned up pretty nicely. I've actually stripped the bar off and reassembled things. The X mirrors kind of give them a little bit of polish. They could probably use a little bit better. The center speakers there, besides the dent, just did some Neverdull on that, and that cleaned up pretty nicely. As we carry over to the passenger side of the bar, the gearbox, put some grease on there. That way it spins up, it should be fine. And then the lamp holder, so on and so forth. So I did find out what the deal was with this lamp holder on this side. That is not the same lamp holder that was in the bar initially. This is a swapped one. One of the brushes is actually the spring's failing. So the spring isn't strong enough to keep the brush in contact with the copper plate down here on that other one. So I'm working on seeing if I can get that back together. If not, it becomes a part that I can just take apart and go from there. But that's the fun part about working on these bars, and bars you can't save, you strip parts off of. And a bar I couldn't save, I stripped a rotator assembly out and it came to life with this one. So here it is in a nutshell. Like I said, there was no tag on this guy. As you can see, there's no tag. This is Model 24 XM, but you can see it was manufactured in '83 by the SAE stamp on the bar. And if I can get down there, maybe not with this camera. The date is '83 on the motor. I think it's July of '83 if I'm reading that correct. So 1983. I had to get another 4464 60-watt bulb. I tried to use the original bulbs in here, and unfortunately I lost one. And as usual, those that are familiar with these bars, finding 4464 bulbs is kind of a pain in the rear. So the fact that I lost one, I'm kind of like, but I had a couple more in stock, so I threw one of them in there. So this bar currently is still sporting the 4464 bulbs it had before. So one of the things I don't like about these bars, or the X bars in general, is the actual X mirrors. I mean, they look kind of neat. Well, they look kind of alien when you look at them, and the whole point of the design was to take the flash coming off this bulb, the lower mirror throws it forward like the typical R or Cascade mirrors do, and then the upper mirror up here throws the flash backwards. Just doesn't do a very good job at it, and in my honest opinion, I think it also cuts back from the warning on these bars. But they were really popular, and finding one of these bars like this, at least a mid-length X series bar, is kind of unique. It has no tag on it, so it's one of those things that without a tag, I don't know what it was in its previous life, but I'm willing to bet that it had these mirrors, and these mirrors aren't common, that it was just this is what it was. Somebody was playing around with it, the tag came off, or somebody was modifying, because if you look, you can see there's another hole in there that typically isn't there. It's a bigger hole there next to the power wire block, or a power wire tap coming in, but that's about it. That's the only thing I can think of. So without further ado, let's power this guy up. Bear with me a moment here. I'd also like to take a moment and say, give a moment of silence for my previous Harbor Freight jump pack. It gave me a good 5 years of service and finally died. I know I've commented in other videos that my jump pack was actually crapping out. It finally did. So with that, let me introduce you to the new, the sleek, and the cheap new Harbor Freight power pack. Look at that. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs up. Anyway, Harbor Freight power pack. Just remember that if you're using one of these guys, keep it fused. Don't run this unfused. Very bad things happen. So here we go. One hand. Firing it up. There we go. So she's a turning and she's burning. That's awesome. So runs pretty quiet. It's working. There's really not much else I can do to the inside of it. Let me back up a little bit and see if I can show you the flash. So there you go. There's a good example of Cascade flash to the front with these mirrors, and then obviously the back ones are on the top are not flashing or reflecting to you because they're dull facing you and they're actually reflecting the flash rear. So it was kind of like a trade-off, front versus rear warning with these X mirrors. I think I think it's kind of goofy. I mean, this is I'm going to say the second one of these I've run into in the wild. The first one of these I converted to a RMC, or Aerodynic Model 24 RMC, which is the California mid-length bar. And I took those mirrors and I don't know what I did with them. And then this one here, you can tell me what you guys think. I have an NYPD bar it's a long gone bar. It's got corrosion, everything in it. It's not worth the time or the effort to actually try to get the bar fixed. Thinking about actually converting this guy to that 24 RMVF-1Z. know if it's a 1Z or 2Z. Thinking about doing that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Respond on that one. Let me know. If you think I should keep this as is, I can do that. If you think I should swap it to an NYPD bar, I can do that as well. I have the parts, like I said. Essentially, I'm just taking the parts from an actual NYPD bar that's not in a restorable condition and swapping them onto this bar and turning this into an NYPD bar. I can even get the name tag off of it and put the proper name tag on it. So let me know what you think. But that's it in a nutshell, YouTube. The next video I'm going to make up here is going to be throwing my domes and put the new domes back on it. And I'll just get some standard video of this thing flashing and then put it away. Alright, have a good weekend, YouTube.